Oh, for sake.
Now then, right. I'm going to go like half an hour at a time now. One problem that we are currently going to be facing, I did mention anchorages earlier on. Okay, and it is wise to have anchorages over planets because you get deep space black sites, and that is governing attraction on the planets in the system that starbase is in. Now, anchorages increase your navy capacity. Now you can see that we are over our navy capacity currently by 2. Maintenance of your military ships is increased by 10% due to being over your navy capacity. That is costing us both alloys and energy credits. So one thing that we do want to do, when that finishes it's going to get even worse. One thing that we do want to do is, unfortunately, convert this, convert it, upgrade it to a starport, which will cost us 200 alloys and will take a year. And we'll get the beginning of, not next month, the month after, because I don't have any alloys coming in anymore. Oh, the world is frustrating. Our alloys will not go up, but our consumer goods hopefully will go up enough with stability increase that gene clinics will not destroy our consumer goods income too heavily. Okay, right. Upgrade. I'm going to turn that into a starbase and we're going to put anchorages on them. Anchorages will give us the ability to increase our navy capacity. What do we have you do? I think I'm going to have you go and do that research station there. The destroyer's just about to finish.
Evading hostiles.
They're not going to move around. We'll be alright. Okay, right now we are 24% over with 20 plus 20% upkeep for our entire fleet. Not just those that are over the fleet, but the entire fleet currently has 20% extra upkeep. And you can see that there's consumed 3 from ships and consumed from ships 18.3. Both of those figures are bigger than they need to be. And fleet capacity, naval cap can be really quite hampering and irritating. You still on automated? Oh, you found yourself a little custom AI assistant. How nice. One thing I'm going to do, given these guys did this is something that they wouldn't be able to do if I did this. I'm going to close borders to them. And that will give them minus 20 opinion. Now we have plenty of opinion to go around, but they are going to start looking at us. See, they do it in kind. They're going to start looking at us with suspicion. So I think we're going to send back our envoy to continue improving relations and make sure that that doesn't actually drop. 75% border friction is a pain in the arse. There's more border friction because of border friction coming from those as well as those. If we had only that one, we'd have very little border friction. Very frustrating. Open the door! I don't know what's behind the door. Right, let's go and have a look at see if we can proclaim superiority. No, we can't. Go up here for proclaims. Yeah, okay, fair enough. It's not there right now anyway. Agenda, skill development. This is something that you will find in democracy. Is quite a pain in the ass. You will have an agenda come up here that you will want to keep your eye on quite a lot. Excuse me. Alright, hopefully he doesn't have a construction ship in this system, and we are thereby not going to be under a massive pressure to get these. If I hadn't closed him, he would have claimed that system, and he'd have started claiming those 2 systems as well. So it's something that I did have to do. Okay, right. Unpause. I would much prefer that to be a collection, and I would have put the anchorage there, but I'm putting it there. Hello. The Forerunners have sent out their fleet. Look at the size of their fleet. Fallen Empires have enormous tech and enormous fleets. They are nasty, nasty, nasty things. You can beat them later on in the game, but early on in the game, they are challenging. Well, they're completely overwhelming. Like you will come up with a notification up here that will say "hopeless war" and tell you it's a good idea to surrender. I'm thinking, because I can have, I'm going to need an anchorage on both of them, to be honest, but I can get away with having just one anchorage there and 2 anchorages there, and at least have another one trade collection there.
Concluded.
Okay, where do we want to go next? We want to come over here and stop them arseholes from claiming this system. Yes, did we get the edict? We did get the edict. Good, good. Our administration is looking fairly high. You don't have any jobs available. You don't have any housing available. I'm going to give you a city. Well, you do have housing available, just not very much of it. And I think another city on there would also be a good idea. Okay, we are okay for consumer goods.
Construction project
And that swing was okay to look after us. Basic combat roles have finally come up. Physics and researchers, I'm going to go for that one because I'm going for the tech heavy focus. Okay, ship designer, we're going to go to the Corvette. Swarm is what we want, and we also might as well throw these improvements on there as well. And on the linesman, we don't want you picket, we want you as a line. This upgrade is going to be expensive, 510. Okay, you can hit the upgrade button even if you don't have enough, and it will just keep taking your alloys from that pile. But we do have this guy here that we want to be able to build that with first, so we're going to wait until that one's finished before we hit the upgrade button.
System survey concluded.
No, I've got food, don't mind. I'll go and put some on oven, but yeah, too knackered for that. Right, these are anchorages. Naval cap +4. Like I say, we can get away with probably just the one of. You will get a building called Naval something or other. Naval something offices, which will increase their effectiveness. Early on, they're a bit of a waste of time, and they get expensive because they have a base upkeep. Okay, I am going to throw on a trade hub first, because we're not actually suffering for the Navy cap problem. And that will collect at least 2, and then it will collect another 2 from there, because I will be turning that into a trade collection place sooner than late, at some point. A welcome surprise. Super solid materials as a research option is gained. Let's have a look at what super solid materials are. Engineering research from researchers. Nice. Right, we'll finish off Starhold first, because otherwise we'll lose it. We won't lose our progress, but we'll lose it as an option. Okay, we have a scientist here doing notes. He's finished that. Are there any anomalies to be looking for? No, just one that's been done. Okay, I'm going to send him out to auto explore, I think. Oh. Well, they're not actually our materials until we come down and claim them, but fine. We're building a city here to give this guy the job. Right. I did want this to be my bureaucracy centre. Now, if you put Gene Clinic on a planet that still hasn't upgraded its reassembled ship soul shelter to a planetary administration, putting Gene Clinics on is a bit of a waste of time. It is plus 10 amenities, so it can be quite useful, but it consumes consumer goods and doesn't really give you the full whack benefits straight away. However, what might not be a bad idea is robot assembly plants. It's only one person for a job. It does use alloys, but it will increase the pop growth on this planet without affecting the immigration from the other planets, and it doesn't suffer from the 50% growth penalty. So we're going to throw one of them on there. We will then, once it starts to build robots, they can only do at this stage mining jobs and farming jobs. I would throw a farm down after that then. I'll keep the city district though, because I want the clerks jobs. They're technicians. I want the clerks jobs. We don't have any clerks jobs on there at the moment. Okay, right. We do have a trade hub going on. I'm going to have an anchorage, and I'm going to put an off-world trading company on there. But I won't spend those alloys just yet. Alloys problem is a bit of a problem right now. Research, please. You're actually going to get there. Just make sure that... Alright, he had already spent them. Alright, cool. I don't want to do that upgrade and remove alloys from that job, because I want that task finished immediately. Bam. Oh, gas to where? Again, it's in the middle of... That's a nice system, to be honest. We will... Yes, great, thanks. We will look at expanding out here as a matter of urgency fairly soon.
Anomaly found.
Also, we start thinking about getting this other planet up and running. Given that one has very little in the way of districts, and not a whole lot that we can add in here either from other districts, I might actually make that my research planet and make the home planet the Forge world. There is no advantage to having your research on your home planet. It's just because it's already the biggest planet. Please, would you get there and start the work? Can't stop the work. Can't stop the work. Okay, we've got an anchorage. It's nearly done. I'm going to throw that trading centre on there. Come on, get there. He's nearly arrived. Oh, how much? What is our trade up to now? 58. Ooh, hello. Shows you wares. Oh, what's the Triton food? Nonsense too. Decreases pop food upkeep by 10%. Don't really care. So from trade, we are making 15 consumer goods. Huge, huge. Admin cap +5. Nice. All right, terraforming. Obviously, I'm going to go for pop growth speed, but let's talk about terraforming. Okay, you click on a planet. If it's not inhabited at this stage, and you've got the tech, and there's a terraforming button here, it will open the window here, and you can choose what planet to turn it into. It takes, I think, 10 years, and it costs you up to 5,000 energy. But it's only energy. It's actually quite cheap to do. Later on, you can get a tech to terraform planets that are inhabited. If you do so, though, there is a dramatic impact on their happiness living on that planet, as you might imagine. And as I've gone through many times, happiness is stability, and stability is produces output. So that will be 10 years of properly gimping a planet. So it's wise to do your terraforming early. Obviously, we haven't actually found anywhere so far where we would terraform. We might want to terraform that planet because that's Arctic. Now it's only telling us that we can inhabit that planet because these guys are set to colonization allowed, colonization forbidden, and now it's gone red.
System survey concluded.
We have met a new people. It's another Lithoid. The way forward lies in our hands. Therabytes. Alien scum. Right, we're going to go pop growth speed. Okay. God, excuse me. Sorry. Authoritarian xenophiles. They don't have well, they have a defensive pact with an unidentified empire, which means that they don't have one with these guys. We're going to find out over the future what their relations are, but we can go down to diplomatic map mode, click on their space, and you'll get a general idea of their opinion on the world, and our opinion of the world, and people's opinions of us. No one really cares about them. Both of us have a fairly low opinion on them. They don't care about anyone, and no one cares about them. Right. You are doing the work. Let's get that upgrade done. The Royal Therabytes have closed their borders to us. I don't really care about that, to be honest with you. Oh! Okay. Okay. Here is something that you might want to consider. We are xenophobes. We don't like other alien races living in our society. So I could take 5 Vengrals. If I go to species, toggle species to the Empire, and find Vengrals on here, these guys. They're intelligent. And our savannah preference. They're not going to be very happy living on our planets, and they're not going to be much more useful than we are. As you know, we're as an entire empire, we're good at research speed. Our own species isn't specifically good at it. It's the empire that's good at it. So they would make better scientists, but because they'd be very unhappy, they'd probably actually end up taking all the jobs, and they're not being as good at them as our populations would be. So I'm going to say no, despite the fact that it would increase my pop by like 10% at this point. I could enslave them and force them to do other jobs, but their happiness, their output would still be pretty rubbish. And that would end up causing all sorts of problems within my factions, creating new fucking factions that I'd have to try and suppress. It is more trouble than it's worth to take them on. So we're going to turn them away, get 30 influence out of it. 30 influence is a nice bonus at this point. Okay, Starholds have popped up. We're going to go straight for that one. And we're going to get it pretty much immediately as well. That was a very good find. Very, very, very good find, that one. Yeah, right, whatever. Right, Starholds I got. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps. We still can't get there. So this one we'll probably look at turning into a Starhold, so we could get enough trade hubs to collect from its entire radius. So 1, 2, 3. We would be able to collect through their space if they had open borders, and we will open borders to them once we've finished filling in this space. But right now we don't want them taking any more of our space. So we would open our border. So 1, 2, 1, 2. We only want 2 trade hubs on this planet. So if we upgrade to Starhold, then we'll be able to put another anchorage on, and then we'd be have the room for either a deep space black site if we find one, or the naval logistics office if that turns up. So that'll be the first place that we do it. Yes, give me that energy, seeing as you're here, and then give me those energies there. There we go. That one's popped up. Let's see what we've got here. Ion thrusters, very important. They increase your evasion for your fleets in combat. We haven't gone anywhere near fleet combat yet, but we will do. Okay, corvette build speed and cost reduction. At this point now, seeing as I've spent all that money, is not actually all that worthwhile. I'm going to pause recording, hopefully without muting it this time, to check on where the food is. Ah, that muted. That was the mistake I made last time. Now then, right, okay. A face full of pizza. Fantastic. Right. Lost my train of thought. But we're no longer building corvettes, so that's no longer a priority. It would have been good to take early on, obviously, when we were building the corvettes, but it's not as useful anymore. But we do want to take it before we get into a war, because we're going to need to replenish, particularly our corvettes. That's probably the most important of all the standardized patterns to take. You'll get those for each of the buildings, even Titans, but that one, because you replenish corvettes more than any others, that one is the most important one to take. Okay, right. We're not going to need to take exotic gas refineries at this point, because we still haven't got the improved science facilities. Ion thrusters, I am very tempted by, but I'm going to go for the Ceramo Metallar armor. I've held off on upgrading my ships for way too long, in my humble opinion, so we're going to go for that one. It's a fairly quick tech. We'll get it quite quickly. Okay, right then. We'll own 15 alloys in the bank now to do. We are nearly up to what we were aiming for. They're still overwhelming. Let's do a population count. They have 53, we have 55. They have 59, we have 55. But we don't have to worry ourselves quite so much about them. And they have 54, we have 55. But they're all still overwhelming in fleet size. You know, this is Grand Admiral. This is the highest difficulty. You will expect that. But we want to keep pace as much as we can. We don't want to be seen as weak. That will change to domineering on one or the other. When they start seeing you as a potential target, they are friendly rather than protective, which is a good sign. But we're still not good enough. We're still too small to consider ourselves, I wouldn't say safe, but to consider ourselves worthy of argument. Right, we found another one of them somewhere, don't really matter where. Okay, so the idea there is that we grow the population on that planet as quickly as possible. We will want to grow the population here. I went for gene clinics rather than robots there, because we're concentrating on civilian industries there. Here I don't think we're going to need robots anytime soon, but we are going to probably end up refitting it one way or the other. Maybe to Forge World, maybe to Science. Okay, research. Once we have got this fleet up to 30, we need to consider whether or not we want a second fleet, or whether or not we want to spend all of those alloys on expanding again. I would probably say we want to spend them on expanding, because we... Oh, hello. Oh, the Riggins. Okay. They are... They are Trader Enclave. You can communicate with them. We are interested in strategic resources, and you can buy a monthly income of strategic resources for relatively cheap. They're very stable prices. They might be more expensive than the market. They might be cheaper than the market. Okay, this guy, once he's finished there, next plan of action, we're going to bring him up here because we need another planet. We are sort of ooh, hello, we've got an unemployment over here. We have been stalling our pop growth quite considerably because we've been concentrating quite a lot on research, on early game research. Right, I would argue that we would want to build a generator. We have plenty of housing. To build another housing district just for the one clerk job would be a bad idea, but we're not too far away from getting that. So we're not actually going to bother building another district here, because we will get 4 clerk jobs once we take that, and that's coming in what, 6 months time. Ha ha ha. Where's this one? Alright, okay, cool. Oh yeah,
Construction project concluded.
That was the Starbase project. Yeah. More materialists, bright materialists. Very authoritarian materialists, but bright materialists nonetheless. 47 pop. I think we will improve relations with them. Chances are high that the Vran Pact as materialist and the Vran Hegemony as also materialists will end up being friends with each other. The Royal Tharbites might be a thorn in that side, but the Tharbites might also find that they're losing themselves an ally when the Vran Pact start presumably improving relations with the Vrin. Okay, we're getting to the point soon where we're going to be able to start considering rivals. Now, we don't want to rival the Tharbite because that will piss off the Vrin, but there's nobody that we know is particularly fond of these guys over here. In fact, it has a caster's belly on everybody for whatever reason, because, you know, the busybodies that want to save the world. Where is declare rivalry? Here we go. Okay, right. It requires terrible relations, and it will destroy your relations with that empire. Look at them surrounded by fucking butterflies. Wankers. Declaring rivalry will increase your influence income. It'll also obviously piss them off, and they will probably rival you back and increase their influence income. But it also is one of the politicking ways of making the world war, the world in the way that you want to, right? So if you have a bunch of allies and you declare a rivalry, then most of your allies will end up considering that person to be a baddie guy, as a bad guy. You might backfire if they're already good friends. Then your ally might actually end up disliking you because you've rivaled them. Do be a little bit careful there. We've got our envoy improving relations with these guys. Once he's improved enough that I can say that everything's kind of positive at least, then I will bring him back here, harm relations with these guys, and then declare the rivalry. Okay, unpause. Oh.
System survey.
They've closed borders because we have closed borders, basically. It's not an aggressive move that they've done there. It's an understandable one. We did first contact that we had was an aggressive first contact because of our policy. You can't expect that they would just take that quite happily. Okay, Koki.
Anomaly found.
Research. So you can see we've currently never got any alloys because our fleet is always upgrading. Right, there we go. That's what we were waiting for. City districts provide one additional clerk job. All of a sudden, these guys have somewhere to work. We will go for focus, and now we have increased the trade on the home system. We're now up to 69. So trade is bringing us 16.68. Oh, I'm feeling better. I had a little bit of trepidation about what was going on earlier. That has annoyed me. I'm afraid we're probably going to end up vassalizing these guys in the future. But an amusement part, worth quite a lot of sciences, that particular anomaly.
Anomalous readings.
Yep, carry on researching. How long until we've finished here? We've only got 3 more ships to go. It's probably about 25, maybe 50 alloys each. Okay, so we're 24 at the moment. Before we hit the fleet reinforce button the next time, we want to have turned this into a full anchorage.
Construction project concluded.
Okay, you're now on your way over there to build that. Okay. 10 years of 10% engineering research is nice. 200 influence is really strong. Or scrap it for parts, not particularly worthwhile. It might be useful in certain situations. I take the 200 influence. Thank you very much. Now on 400 influence. At that point, like I was talking earlier about having another construction ship, we're now at the point really where one construction ship won't be able to spend our influence fast enough to justify sticking with just the one of them. We want to get out of it, and we want to get up to hopefully there. We've finished with the upgrading. I think it would be a very wise idea. You're on your way over there already. I'm going to send you actually on your way over there, and I'm going to build another construction ship once we've got the bloody alloys for it. Go away, go away, go away.
System survey concluded.
Right. Show us your wares. No, we don't care about that. Where are we going to get alloys from? This is going to be our administration world. I want this to still be a colony if I'm allowed. No, I'm not. You can only, I think you can only take colony through automated selection. So, bureaucratic centre, we're never going to forget that it's a bureaucratic centre now. When it gets more and more pops, then we'll continue building bureaucrats on that planet. And it will grow nice and quickly because it is growing the robots. We'll make sure that we are growing the correct robots. We can only grow that one particular. Okay, what's that happening? 63, 68 and 70. I'm not unhappy with those numbers. What do our factions look like? 0, despite the fact that we've got a fair amount of growth into that. We're not going to be egalitarian. Xenophobe. Oh, Pop lives on a planet with 3 Xenos. Okay. Back to ours. Let's go with this guy. He's the only one that we have. You were in decent conditions. Let's have you as slaves. There you go. You still have decent conditions. We could drop you down to basic subsistence and stop you from consuming stop them from consuming consumer goods. I would say, why not do that? what are they going to do? Okay, yeah, one pop gets minus 10 happiness because they're a slave. But I don't really care. We're xenophobes, that's what we do. It can't go anywhere. It's chattel slavery. They're down the mines. We go over here. It hasn't really had any effect because slaves, while they have 0 happiness, they only have 1% political influence on the planet. We'll get to the beginning of the year and see whether or not it has had any effect. Nope. The beginning of the year, the beginning of the month. Nope. Hasn't changed anything. Where is he? What's he even doing? He's farming. Bless him. He's still producing 9 food for us. Okay, so we can go to factions and to xenophobe, and now it's increasing because we live on a planet with xenos slaves. We can't really do much about that, having influence there. Xenos disenfranchised, ensuring that no Xenos species within our empire enjoys full citizenship rights will please them. Nice one. Yeah, so we can't really do much to stop that one until we end up turning tail on them and vassalising them, to be fair, and that's a long way away. By the way, your pops that come from that empire, they don't have much of an opinion when it comes to war with them. Like, they don't get all pissed off when you declare war on their home species. At least I don't believe they do. We still got 4% bloody spiritualists. And good. I mean, it's down 74%. 60% of our pops currently embrace the ethic of materialist. I'd like that to be a little bit higher, but you know, 26%, that's 86% of our pop are on board with our governance.
Anomaly found.
It is what I like to see. Okay, right, you're on your way over there. I would like to increase the amount of alloy production that we get. We're not really going to be able to do that until we move the research centre, which is currently... Hey! Oh yeah! Thank you, Caravaneers. You did nick one of our pops, but you just gave me the ability to curate. Please? Yes, it's still only 1,000. We would like to purchase that service. Okay, 10% increase to research speed. Okay, so I'm... Oh. They do good work where they are. Anomaly discovery chance plus 20% and anomaly research speed plus 20%. I'll keep you with that. We have found a mega structure, a ruined art installation. We really, really want to take that system then, or that system. One or the other, doesn't really matter too much.
System survey concluded.
Alright, so we are going to push for it, and we're going to bunny hop up there as fast as we possibly can now. In fact, we got 4.5 grand's worth of minerals in the bank with a fair chunk of consumer goods coming in. I know I'm not saying it at particularly high value, but with that much money, that's 3 star bases worth of build. We will leapfrog them. They'll build faster that way. Like, you build one, then you start that one building. In the meantime, that one's moving over there, and then you start building, etc., etc. Usually, it works out good enough to justify doing. We'll take that one. Oh, hello. Oh, that's some terraforming space there. Yeah, hopefully we'll take that one.
Research concluded.
I don't imagine they're going to come down south. If they do come down south, then you know they're going to end up finding themselves in trouble. Okay, crystal mines is going to be a no-brainer for me right now. We have crystals to collect there. We have crystals to collect there. Crystals are used in administration offices, higher level administration offices, higher level civilian fabricators, in embassy complexes. There's a number of others, but they're also used in lasers, I think it is, on ships. As your ship weaponry gets higher, it ends up using strategic resources to harvest, to build. So crystal mines early on, given we have a supply of crystal mines on there, even if we don't use them, we can sell them for energy, and they'll be a good little earner for us. Alright, construction ship. Get your send there. And then once you've done that, I want you
System
to go
survey concluded.
doink doink. Oh, a relic world. I wonder if that's the kleptomaniac rats. Probably. So the rubicator would be very nice. I'd quite enjoy the rubicator. A little bit of rubication. Alright, so nobody's been damaging any relations there. We've been improving relations.
Project concluded.
Not with them. Excellent. We finished the survey. It took longer than I thought it would, but we finished the habitable world survey. Okay, yeah, we've not been ruining our relations there, and we've been improving our relations there, haven't we? Yes. Up to 26 is enough emphasis for them to understand that we're not actually a threat. So we're going to say to these guys, harm relations, accept, and then we're going to declare rivalry, except that they're overwhelming. We can't declare a rivalry because they're overwhelming, but we can still harm relations. By making us very obviously against them, they either might come towards us or they might go away from us. It depends whether or not they feel like they can take on the conflict. Right, finally. Do we want the robots or do we want the alloys? I wouldn't go for gene clinics. We don't really need the amenities. We could go for the noble estates. It would increase our stability. See, happiness is 76. It wouldn't actually increase it a whole lot. I think, to be honest, I want the I want the alloy foundries. I want more alloys. Well, like we're really low on alloys, because we've got more research. Obviously, I would love to have more research, and I find it difficult not going for research. We really need the alloy foundries, though. Not having the alloy foundries is really hurting us. We can leave that on, and they'll take jobs out of that to go up there. We'll leave that one on there, and I'll have that one on there as well. Once you start getting huge excess of amenities, and it gives a great increase to the happiness on the planet, which it also gives a great increase to the stability on that planet. Right. We have 2 construction ships here. 1, no orders, build that starbase, please. And after you have built that starbase... Oh, bollocks. You, after you built that starbase, go up there. You just move there. I don't know if you queue up at an expensive level of influence and it's cheaper when it starts building, whether or not it refunds you some of the influence. I hope it does. I would hope that it would, but I don't know whether or not it does.
Anomaly.
Don't need to worry about them guys. Yes, I will research that. It's 450 days, but he's level 5. He's not going to get a whole lot higher anytime soon. So it's not worth delaying it, just to knock off what might be maybe 100 days, when it will take him probably 700 days to go up a level.
Construction project concluded.
You, my friend, build that starbase. You are on your way over there. We're only going to go that far. But once we got it, it'll be good. We presumably have close borders with you, yes. I'm going to preempt the unhappiness that they will send our way by building another shipyard, just in case they end up going to war with us. We will be able to reinforce our fleets with, you know, quick build, with a quick build of
Construction project
corvettes.
concluded.
He'll nearly have finished building that
System
starbase by the
survey
time he's
concluded
just about leaving, to be
without
honest.
incident.
You carry on doing your good work. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. It's 38%. It's only just arriving. Okay, so a lot of my talking is slowing down now, because a lot of the early game decisions, a lot of the balancing act that you have to do is slowing down. And I'm going to play this example up until the point where I feel like I'm able to vassalize these guys. Then I will vassalize these guys. Not that they know I'm going to do that. And then I will say it's pretty much solid. There are different options to be taken at that point. Let me just turn off the alarm so the cat alarm doesn't go off. Doink. No.
Construction project concluded.
Yeah, so there are many choices, like when to go for habitats, how many habitats to build, where to build habitats. Hopefully we'll get that in this game, but it's possible that we won't actually get that. Bum. Okay, how are we looking? We've got 4 jobs and 7 housing. We could reduce our empire sprawl, which is over now, by demolishing one of these. It's only taken us down by 1. You're 1 and 5, you're 2 and 6. I'm not going to destroy anything else. But let's get this run done. Oh, I'm at 48 minutes. Alright, okay, fair enough. I'll probably... Yeah, sorry, I'll stop recording and I'll start up another one. Right, in a bit.
Oh, for f***'s sake.